Hey up troops, it's alyttleton here again with another video, and this time we're going to talk about how to win more 1vx situations. I don't know if this has ever happened to you when you're playing the game, but this happened to me last night. Why? What are you doing? Why does everyone run away? Why are you running away in a 1v2 where they're putting the bomb down? Why? You've got them in a place where you can take a gunfight and people run away. So just a minor mental breakdown there when I was streaming last night. Nothing too serious. Anyway, my point is, when you're in a 1vx situation, you're already not expected to win that scenario, right? Let's just say you're in a 1v2 or a 1v3, and your odds of winning that current situation is like 15%. The more bad decisions you make is going to reduce that percentage even lower. I mean, you've already not got much chance. You've already got it up. You're up against it. Do you know what I mean? If you then make a bad decision, like we just saw in that clip, to drop the pit in canal, your chances of winning that situation go from 15% down to, say, 8%. And then if you take even longer to do whatever you're going to do, it goes down to 4% and less and less and less. The more good decisions you make, the more chance you've got of winning that situation. Granted, it's still a low percentage, but you're giving yourself more chance. So what I'm going to do in this video is break down some clips I've got where this old bald man has won some 1vx situations, and I'm going to go through it and try and explain what I was thinking at the time. And, you know, you do some stupid things when everyone's watching you, and you've got the random teammates in your ear trying to backseat you when they don't give you any call-outs all game, and all of a sudden they've got loads of good ideas over the mic. But I'm going to run through a couple of ways you can improve those chances of winning that situation, and then just sort of talk about what I did to try and win that situation. Now, we've done loads of waffling there. I think that's probably enough. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is watch this clip, and then I'm going to go back and talk about what I was thinking at the time and how it ended up going fairly well. So let's watch it first.
What the fuck, dude?
As you hear the guy in the background go, "What the fuck, dude?" Right, so let's watch that again, and let me just talk you through what I was thinking here. So let me just break this down, and there's a couple of points that I'm going to make about this clip, and we can watch another couple of clips as well. So first things first, I know that there was a guy in meeting. This is why I'm prone outside the door. So this is the absolute freebie. It's a 1v4. This guy obviously sees it's a 1v4. He doesn't know I'm here, and this is free. So the first point that I'm going to make is take your freebies. Now, what I mean by that is as soon as it becomes a 2v4, 2v5, 1v4, 1v3, the team with the majority of players get lazy. They just think, right, it's 1v3, like, he mustn't be anywhere close to me here or something like that. And as you can see here, this Thatcher, or Sledge, sorry, just comes storming straight out. He wouldn't do that if it was a 3v3 or a 4v4 or a 2v2 or even a 3v2. But because it's a 1v4, he goes, oh, he's nowhere here, and just runs straight out. So absolutely take your freebies. If you can find that you can get a couple of free kills because the opponents get lazy, definitely take those freebies. Point number one. Okay, now as we come in, this is where a bit of game... I'm sorry for the quality of the video there when I paused it, by the way. It doesn't look the best, that, does it? The next point is a bit of game sense, I guess. But as you're coming into the next room here, I've got to think about where are the enemy team going to be? Now, granted, I probably could have been killed as I crossed this door here if the enemy team knew what they were doing without being disrespectful to the enemy team. But hang on, let me just get past this kill. As I get here now, if that Dockerby was peeking me where she eventually peeks me from, I'd be dead right now. But she didn't, so thanks very much, whoever that Dockerby was. So now I'm thinking of a bit of game sense. I'm thinking of the layout of the map, and this is my next point. Think about the map layout and the room where you're going to go into, i.e. likely where are the opponents going to be. So thinking about this now, I made this rotate at the start of the round that you can see here. So I know for a fact that this rotate is here, and I know for a fact that I can't be peeked from the back right of the room because they can't see round far enough. The only place I can really be peeked from is from this angle or from this angle. And what I don't do is I don't walk straight into the room because I know that the electrical door on my left-hand side, it's likely somebody could be there as well. It's a textbook place to hold from on lab. So I stay here. I see if I can find someone on this angle, which we peek there. I look to the right-hand side first, and I was also cautious that some people go prone behind this barrier here sometimes. So I'm conscious of that. Well, obviously, we see whoever this is here. I think that's... it's either Ion or Brava. I can't quite tell who that is. I guess Brava, maybe? Or I don't know. I can't really tell. It doesn't look like Iona, does it? But anyway... so I see where they are now. So we've got a bit of information. I come back around the corner and then peek it again. And look, I don't know what AKA 47 Bliat's doing, but I've absolutely smoked them. So that's them off the menu as well. So now I'm thinking again, just as I'm about, there can't be two people here, or as I would have been shot as well. So as I'm about to come through this door, where's the next place I can be peeked from? There's a door on the left-hand side here to electrical. So we look there as well. And as I peek that, we see, that was IQ because that's Brava. We see Brava there prone, lying on the floor, doing the best worm impression they can do. And we take them out as well. And to be honest with you, there's not much you can do there. That's just a great shot. And I don't mean to be big-headed there. But to be able to flick down on the ground there as you come through that door at full ping, at full swing, sorry. They've just missed me. The reactions are slower than mine. You can see their bullets go to my left-hand side here. So they've missed me. I get the shot off and they're dead. Right, now we're in a 1v1. We've gone from 1v4 to 1v1. And now I'm thinking about the plant. I don't need to push here. You see how I took myself in here? I don't need to push. I'm the defender. It's on the attacker to plant. So I sit here. I know there's a rotate there. And I'm trying to listen for the plant. I'm trying to hear if I can hear him planting. Now, if you listen now. I was holding that angle in case I get pushed. I'm listening for the plant. You can't actually hear the plant because we find out later in the clip, it's on the other side of the other site. So I'm just listening for the plant. I'm not pushing. I'm not getting overly aggressive. It's up to the attacker to push me or plant. They've got two options. I don't need to walk into that room and hope to get the kill. It's on them to make the next move now. Bloody hell. They've planted. So they've made the next move. Now the pressure's back on me. So now I'm thinking in my head, where have they planted? Where are the places that are likely to plant? And now I know, and this is my next point, use the information that the game gives you, okay? Now I know because of what we've just heard by being behind that barricade, not barricade, like that was sort of wall, that sort of, whatever you call that, what I was just stood behind there. I know that they haven't planted in the site that you can see here because I would have heard the plant going down. So I know they're not in this room. So use this information that the game gives you, which is kind of like passive information. Like if you see one of your teammates die, look at where that kill marker was and you've got some idea of where the opponent might be from where they die from. In this situation, use the information that the game gives you, sound. So I'm listening for the sound. I know the plant's not in this room, and as we come around this room here, just there. Can you hear that? I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that in the video, but that's the sound of an OSA shield going down. And because of the sound, I can't tell where it is, but I know it's not in this room next to me. So I've heard that shield go down further away. So we're using the information all the time that the game gives you. Now we get to this door. Now because I didn't hear that OSA shield, I thought, is it going to be on this door? Are they going to have put the shield down and pushed into a common place to hold, which is behind this sort of center console here? So we've got loads of time. We've got 45 seconds, a little bit less now, probably 38 seconds. So we're not in a mad rush. We've got enough time to sort of think about things without just charging in. So we check there. I sort of half-arsedly checked there because I didn't think they were there, but you've got to check it. And then I think, right, well, where are they going to be? They're either going to be in this back right corner of this site here, or they're going to be over by the door on the other side. Now, sometimes you get a line of head holes here when you're setting the sides up, and we didn't. Somebody just punched it. Obviously, somebody didn't have a shotgun. Mute or Oryx, that's me, by the way. Obviously didn't do that there. So there's no head holes there, which actually benefits me in the end. So I think they're either back right of this room or at the back of that room. So I think, right, my next process here is, how can I get the best angle on there? If they're here or if they're at the back there, I'm never going to get a good angle if I come through this door. This is the obvious place of entry. So the next point is try and think about new angles or creative ways that you can then get the advantage. This OSA is obviously waiting for me to come through this door. If they're back right here, or if the back of this room behind their shield, I've got very little chance of coming through this door and winning the round. So then I think about how can we get, I'm sorry about the quality of this video, by the way. How can we get a better angle? How can we regain the advantage in this 1v1? Now I know that when you set this site up, if we just go back a touch, that most of the time there's feet holes here. And again, we haven't got a feet hole. Someone's taken the time to punch this line in, but I'll come back onto this in a second at the end of talking about this. So there's no feet holes here. And I'm thinking, right, okay, they can either be at the back of that room, which is where we look here. So I thought they might be back right. We can see they're not there. And at this point, this host is still looking at this door. Absolutely no idea that I'm here. Now, we're kind of lucky that there was no drone on Mez, because if there was a drone on Mez, this OSA obviously didn't get informed. So we're scouring the room, trying to see where they are. I see the shield, and then I just see OSA's shoulder behind it. We get the shots off, and we kill the OSA. Now, just want to come back to these holes in the wall. This isn't really about the 1vx, but whoever made these holes, it wasn't me, but whoever made these holes won us this round. So I talk about team play all the time in Siege, and this comes back to it as well. Whoever's made these punch holes, this probably took 20 seconds to do that many punch holes, but whoever's done that has won the round for the team. So just help your team out a little. If those punch holes aren't there, I don't get that kill, and I have to come through that door, or I have to make shotgun holes here, and the OSA knows that I'm coming this side, or I have to come through that door and she kills me because she's behind a shield and I'm coming through a door. And there's no way I can win that. Whoever's made these punch holes, whoever you are in the world, thanks very much. You won that round for us in a sense. So again, we look for where they are, looking for the shield. Back right, they're not there. We look to the other side. And again, you can see the OSA is looking towards the door on the right-hand side. What the fuck, dude? And we're 1v4. So you can see, I'm not entirely sure when you look back at it, the OSA was tucked in behind this shield here, and the plant went down there. It would have been a lot easier for the OSA to just put the shield up against the door, and even just to retreat back a little bit maybe, or to just play the shield. I guess the OSA might not have known that I was an Oryx. They thought I might have had impacts or something like that. I'm not really sure. So there's a couple of things to go through there. I've made a few points there, but hopefully that's gone through in this situation, what I was thinking at the time, and how I sort of processed the information. Okay, so we're on Canal now, and we're going to be in a 1v3 very shortly. This one's from a month or so ago, but again, we'll run the clip, and then I'll run through it with you.
Let's just put this here. Let's go green.
One friendly remaining.
Inside, two insides on my ping. Two. Three. Hold.
Stop standing.
At the door, yeah.
Proning. Standing up. That's the
You're
defuse.
watching the gun.
He's on server.
Server.
Oh, yeah, beside.
Nice.
Top level.
The absolute sheer relief of an old man who's done something good for once. Right, so let's go through it. So let's get into the 1v3 to start with. You'll notice I placed the C4 down. That's pretty much the default plant spot. It's probably a little bit further to the right, in all honesty, but for where the plant goes down normally on Canal. So I know I'm in a 2v3. I can't just stay downstairs. This is another thing that people do all the time in 1vx situations as well. So what they'll do is they'll stay downstairs. So at the moment, I'm leaving my mute in a 1v3. And that's not good from my perspective. I'm downstairs with a C4. Yeah, I can get one kill. That means I then have to come back upstairs in a 1v2. So I think to myself, I can't really leave the mute there. We need to get upstairs. Well, it's a bit late for that now. So I didn't play that particularly well to begin with there. I sort of sold my mute out a little bit. I left him in a 1v3. He's fighting against Thatcher, Ace, and whoever this question mark is. I made it difficult for him. So we know we've got the C4 placed. We come upstairs, and again, we're thinking about where are they likely to be. A common place for people to hold is over here on the top green, sort of 90 area. They weren't there, luckily. Now, this is a movement or a position that you need to add into your game, by the way. And you've just got to watch for claymores when you do this.
Inside.
I mean, I don't know who's reinforced this wall here, but that's a bad thing to start with. But
Two insides on my ping.
this play with running out of this breach, you've got to make sure there's no claymores. But running out the breach and shooting the sledge in the back, it works so many times when you're defending in a... Sorry about the video quality again. I don't know what's happened there, but it works so often in that situation. We come back in. We see that the other enemy, the question mark, was also near that area as well. So we blow the C4 that we had below, and the C4 gets the other kill. Right, now we're in a 1v1. So again, we know now, like we talked about on Nighthaven Labs, we know the onus is now on the attacker to make a play. The attacker's either got to push us or the attacker's got to plant, so we can play passively now. Me coming downstairs here is almost exactly the same as on Nighthaven Labs as Oryx when I decided to just hide behind that sort of plant bot thing for a little while just to get some information, just to see what the attacker was going to do. So we come back down. I know I've got a cam down there. One of the differences, and this is another point to take in as well, with this team, I'm solo queuing here as well, by the way, but with this team, they're very, very kind at giving communication. So you can hear that I get on my cam anyway, just to be safe. I'm not happy that they're red pinging. Never red ping. I've been through that in other videos. Red pinging gives me nothing. They're talking to me. They don't need to red ping. It would just give away to the Thatcher that there's a camera here. So don't red ping that. It really frustrates me. That it really gets under my skin. But anyway, so I've gone on my cam. I'm just seeing what this Thatcher's doing. Luckily, the teammates are giving me communications as well. So the other point I'm going to make there is listen to your teammates. Yes, it can be frustrating at times because you have to listen to trolls on the internet who say things that you don't want to hear. But at the end of the day, it's a team-based game. If they do troll, in my opinion, give your teammates the benefit of the doubt. If they do troll, or if they are saying things that you don't want to hear, or if they're just being toxic, you can mute them. But don't mute them from the off. I find that when I solo queue, 90% of the teammates that I come up, maybe 80% of the teammates that I team up with are actually pretty decent people. Yeah, they get frustrated when they lose, but don't we all? But they're generally people who want to win the game, generally. And that's not always the case, I know that. But listen to what your teammates are telling you. So I'm looking myself. I can see now that Thatcher's off the server. Now, I haven't got a camera in server. I know that. So I'm going to come off this camera. Now I know I've got to start making a play. If I don't do anything now, he's going to go to server, plant the bomb, and then I've got a problem. So I come upstairs. I know he's in server. So I know that there's no rotate here, which there can be sometimes. If there was a rotate here, I'd probably hold an angle. But I know now that I can sort of take back A. He's in B, so I know I can take back A. So I'll get in a position in A where I'm now safe. If he was to push back down here, I've got a bit of cover. I can peek behind things. And the team now is saying to me, he's in server. And now we go back to the point of use the information that the game gives you. You hear there that he starts planting. So I know that I've got to start making a play. I fire some random shots through the wall. I don't think I'm going to get a kill with that, but I was hoping I was going to get him off the plant. And you hear he does come off the plant. And then what I would do now is if he came off the plant, I would tuck into my left-hand side and I would wait. But you can hear he starts planting again, so I have to start pushing a little bit more. The quality is terrible, I'm so sorry. We know he's planting. We can hear... Get yourself a decent set of headphones, but I can hear that he's planting behind the server rack, behind the bomb. And at that point, do you hear him move then? At that point, you hear him move. Just there, that noise. He shoots to the left-hand side of the server rack. At this point, I know I'm in a good position now, so I don't move anymore. I just hold the angle. He has to peek back around. He pre-fires and cocks it up. What a position. What a ragdoll physic that is. So again, I've gone through there. I've used the information. I've used the cameras that I've got. I've listened to my teammates. I've listened to the information that the game's given me. I've taken up new positions. I've been aggressive when I had to, when I knew that he was planting. And I've also been passive when I had to, like when I came down the stairs here. After I got the kill, I come down the stairs. I'm passive when I need to. And then when we come back upstairs and we have to start pushing, we're aggressive when we need to. So it's just about making those right decisions at the right times to give you more chance of more of a percentage chance, if you're with me. More of a percentage chance? Yeah, that makes sense. More of a percentage chance of winning the round and winning the clutch. Boom. So there we have it. There's a couple of sort of live situations that I've been through in the past when I'm in 1vx situations, and also a couple of things that you can do to try and give yourself more chance of winning. Look, don't get me wrong, you're never going to win every 1vx situation. You're also a massive deficit and a massive sort of a loss already before you even start that situation. Your odds of winning it are way down, but do the right things to give yourself more of a chance. For those of you that got this far in the video, I massively appreciate it. I'm going to put a random word at the end of the video. Let's say picture frame. If I've just looked up at the wall there, I can see a picture frame. If you've got this far in the video, bang picture frame in the comments or something more constructive perhaps. But I appreciate every one of you that watches the video, no matter how long. So thank you very much. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Cheers!